All right, today's topic will be what your sport says about you. Now, don't take this too much to heart. These are just massive generalizations. So, if you do play one of these sports or played one of these sports in the past, don't take it too hard. Don't take it personal. It's just a lighthearted conversation. Some jokes here and there. But starting with the ones that I played, we'll start off with baseball. Oh my god. I played when I was pretty young, from I was like 5 to like 10, and then I kind of bitched out because I got too. Well, I didn't bitch out. I just got bored. I remember I would stand in the outfield, just kind of like make like dirt mounds, and sometimes the ball would go right past me. So maybe I'm just salty because I was ass, but yeah, baseball when you're a young kid, you either do it because it's like the sport everyone starts their kids out with, at least where I'm from, or you're only doing it because your dad did it in like college or something and wants you to do it, which is fair because it's like a pretty good team sport. I remember there would be some kids that like sucked at batting, so if there were two outs and this kid was up to bat, like some of these 5-year-olds were demons and they would already like take off their helmet, take off their gloves, and put on their glove and cap because they just knew this kid would strike out. And at the off chance that he hits like a ground ball, it's like they won the fucking lottery, and it would do everyone in the dugout would just like scream like "oh!" So that was pretty fun. But yeah, if you're doing it under the age of like 10, I would say you're only doing it because like it's what you started off with, or like your parents wanted you to do it. Now, if you do it in high school, now this is where things can get kind of slippery. You're either a rich person from Newport Beach, and like that's like your crowd, or you're like the token Asian in all SoCal high schools that plays baseball and is like usually really good. So they'll be like pitcher or something. I don't even know you can do that. If you're in high school, like you probably started vaping earlier than everyone else if you play baseball, because that's what the baseball team's about. Oh my god, I'm cooking. Hold up, let me. All my Battlefield players will understand how cool that was. I'm still going. I'm a fool. Damn. Okay, that was pretty good. But yeah, you probably started vaping before everyone else. You're probably like, these are just generalizations, so I do feel a little bad. But you're probably like, ooh, C plus, B minus average student. Or you're a super chill guy and you're like hella smart and you just like playing baseball because of what you did your entire life. In college, you're in a frat. You're in Pike, you're in Theta Chi, things like that. If you're a baseball player, you get in all the sorority girls, things like that. But yeah, if you're in college and you're doing it, you're playing Die every day, you're playing Rage Cage, going to frats, or you're in a frat. Baseball itself, like you don't really need to be in a frat because it is a frat. But yeah, that's baseball. Starting off with the tried and true, that's what I played in high school. Tennis. So the only reason I started playing tennis was because I had family that did it, aka my dad did it in high school, and he was like, "You should play tennis." Only later on in life did I realize why he wanted me to play tennis, and we'll get into that now. Yeah, so I think people start playing tennis mainly because of their parents. I feel like a lot of sports people start playing because of their parents. I think it's like a similar case with jobs. Like a lot of sons end up doing what their dad did or what their mom does. Just because it's like they're used to it and they know it. If they're successful from it, they know it works. They know it can get you stable stream of income, stable life. Just comfort. Same applies to sports. But yeah, I played tennis because my dad did. Also, tennis is pretty fun. Teaches you how to be a bit more independent, especially if you're a singles player, because if you lose, like you can't blame anyone else. Like you just purely lost. Not a lot of sports like that, except for not like ball sports. I would say that are like that, except for maybe polo. I don't even know if polo is played as like a team or not. But other than fighting, I feel like tennis is one of the only like you versus some other guy. But now, say you're in high school if you're in tennis, you're a nerd, two, Asian, three, really chill, multiracial dude, or like a tryhard, and like you're taking all the APs and you just wanted to put a sport on there and you were like, I'm gonna play tennis, which is fair. I know in high school, like everyone, and I think it's a big influence. I can go on about that later about how the sport you play kind of molds you as a person. But I know for me, everyone in tennis was like, what did you get on this algebra test? And there would be like, I got a 89, I got a 93, and I was like, fuck, bro, like I gotta be one of these bros. So I so I just started grinding and studying because that's what all my other teammates did. Granted, there were some people that were like a little goofy, but most of them were just like studious motherfuckers. And yeah, that's most of the crowd you get when you're playing tennis. But yeah, you're either a nerd, really skinny with big forearms, Asian, or just a school tryhard. And or you're trying to be like pro and you're blue chip and you're just really good at tennis, which is also respect. That was awful. Moving on to the good old American classic, football. Now, if you're playing football, you are trying to get some points with the ladies because you think playing football is like a straight ticket. This is high school. I'll say high school. If you're playing football in high school, yeah, you think it's a straight ticket for the ladies. If you're a varsity, then yeah, maybe you do. You get all like the cheerleaders and shit, typical stuff. If you're JV football, like, ooh, no, you're just kind of a twig. But yeah, if you're playing football, probably not the brightest. Like I'm saying, these are generalizations, so please don't be mad. But yeah, probably not the brightest fella, not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Come from lower income areas, and it's like a, what do you call those? Like a feel good story where the poorer school beats the really rich school, and like everyone goes off, and it tells you what they're doing like 20 years later, and always one of them like fucking goes back to the gang and gets killed. Or your dad really wanted you to play football because they played in high school and they were gonna go, oh my god, they were gonna go pro, but then they tore their ACL in the game of '89, and then you are how they're gonna finally win that state championship. But yeah, the football players, not to generalize here, but to generalize the football players, we're just kind of focused on the wrong things, maybe, from my opinion. All the drugs, all the drinking, everything like that. And it gets you places when you're, gets you places when you're young, in high school. But after that, yeah, not very cool, Now, if you're in college and you're playing football, like, oh, you're on a cloud nine. Like, your games are the most filled. Everyone's so excited to go to the football games as a first year. You have mega clout when you're in the gym because all those dudes are like 6'8". I would be lying if I wasn't a little jealous of that. But yeah, they're like 6'8", benching 275, making it look like a toothpick. Like, fuck, dude. And especially if you're at like a good school and you're playing football, like you got best of both worlds. Like, you're getting a godly education, playing football, everyone loves you. You out of class early, like, man, you sound like I'm jealous. And some of them will go off to get signed, especially at those big schools where like the NFL is hunting people. Maybe Alabama's like that. But yeah, some of those people go on to get signed. So that's actually like a really good outcome if you're playing college football. If you don't and you injure yourself like pretty badly and you get like CTE later on, yeah, then the investment wasn't worth it. But you got to take into account how many people get signed from football and how many people are trying to get signed. You might be better off just like buying a lottery ticket, but you can't help but respect the people that try. But basketball, I can't really talk too much about. Everyone that I knew in basketball was really chill. They weren't like, they were either really chill or like complete dicks. They were like either or. Most of them were nice. Most of them were smart. Like basketball people seemed like they had really good friendships with each other, probably because of the team dynamic. Like you guys need to work together. I think football, some people just got salty at each other. But yeah, oh down. Fuck. Yeah, basketball people were pretty chill, so I can't say too much about that. Swim people were also really chill. They were just kind of like surf dudes light. So they were nice. But I did want to talk a little bit about how your sport kind of shapes you. I was like a young guy, young girl. I think it's because those who you hang around with and those who you're like exposed to every day from like 2:30 to 4:30 has a bigger effect than most people think. I don't think I would have studied as much as I did if I wasn't playing tennis because I wanted to be like part of the gang because that's how you were cool in tennis. Like you fucking like ace motherfuckers on the court, but then you also, ace those geometry tests. And I think that's really important because, you hear that saying, the 5 people you hang out with, or like tell me the 5 people you hang out with and I can tell you everything I need to know about you. High key true. I knew you were there. Oh, okay. Damn, you got me. Yeah, so if you're playing football as you're an impressionable young dude, it would make sense that some of the people might not be the best influences. Like, you're smoking, you're drinking in high school, which in my opinion is not the best. I know people do it on the daily these days. But, yeah. Can't be a good influence if you're seeing that all the time. And I can tell you, I have a cousin, how old am I? 22? I have a cousin who's 2009, 16? 16, he just got his driver's license. And he's playing football. And he was telling me, he was like, because I haven't seen him in years, just because of like personal stuff, but I was always chill with him. But my cousin's playing football, maybe majorly because of his stepdad. And he was like, yeah, I really got pushed to do this because of my stepdad. Like, I wanted to play hockey. His dad's Canadian. So, that's where that comes from. Even though he's in, like, SoCal, like, we're hockey SoCal. It doesn't really add up. But, yeah, he came up. We were eating dinner one day, and after, just me and him kind of chatting. I was kind of just trying to bestow upon him some life advice. And I was like, so how's football? And he's like, dude, it's good, but, like, all of my friends now, they're starting to like fail classes and like I'm just like not with that, but like they always ask me to hang out. They're always asking me to smoke weed, drink and stuff. And I'm like, well, do you? And he's like, dude, no, like I don't have it in me to do it because like me and this one other guy that are on the team, like we don't want to fail, like we want to do pretty good, and I'm just starting to see myself go more and more astray from what these guys prioritize. And I was like, wow, dude, you're pretty mature and good on you for saying that. But yeah, something damn, bro, something you notice just as you get older is the people, like the stereotypes of people that play certain sports start to come true, and football is usually like not the best. And I was telling him like, don't smoke the weed. If you're like, nah, I don't want to tell him not to do it since like I fucking smoked like a chimney. But I'm telling him, wait for college. Like, if you do all that stuff in college, it's, like, better. Doing it in high, like, there's just no point. Because, like, you're going to do it in the parking lot. You're going to sit there with your friends and, like, one of you is going to drive and, like, fucking get a DUI. Like, not worth it. And he was like, yeah, like, one of them was even offering me, like, shrooms and stuff. And I was like, well, did you do it? And he's like, no, I didn't want to do it. And I was like, well, good. And he was like, yeah, I'm really starting to stray away from these people and things like that. And I was like, yeah, that just happens. But, real life example of what I'm talking about. Like I said, this is just a generalization, so don't feel too offended if you play football and you have like a PhD. But yeah, hope you guys have a good night. Good luck with all your endeavors. Hope everything's good, and I'll see you later.